Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them, that taught us his truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David, to all the Aquath that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest. The 144,000 and 1/3, the hopeful elect of Israel. This lesson is more of the same because Jake needs to hear things 50 times before he even opens his eyes. So, going into darkness, okay? And this precept right here is twofold and even threefold. Let's read it. Ecclesiastes 11:8. But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. Right? All that cometh is vanity. Or, let's see. All that cometh. Everything that is coming is pointless. Hey, we're knocking on the door of the kingdom. This world is over. Leave the world behind. All right? But let's focus on this. Yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. Okay? Now, darkness as in no light, as in enlightenment, or evil day, the evil day, right? Darkness and thick clouds, right? Or the light's going out, right? Guess what? Remember the plagues of Egypt, right? I wonder if that'll come up. Let's see, plagues of Egypt. No, it's not going to come up. Let me see. Let's see what it says here. Okay. The plague of darkness. Doesn't say it, huh? Okay, anyway. Leprosy, hail. Let me look a little further. Bear with me for a second. Where would that be at? Exodus? To touch. Let's see. The account of the plagues is found in Exodus. Okay, so let's go to Exodus real quick. 7 and 8. The Lord spoke on the 7 and 8. Let's see. Show a miracle. The first plague. Okay, so let's see what else is going on here. Bear with me, as I should have did this before, but we're kind of going in the spirit. Frogs, gnats, flies, Pharaoh's heart hardened. Did we pass it? Is there more? Livestock, boils, hail, locusts. Let's go through this real quick. All right, the 9th plague. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt. Oh, over the land of what? America. Oh, in the spirit. If you're a spiritual man and you have spiritual discernment, you understand that this is talking about America. The Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt. This Egypt is also spiritual America, or America is spiritual Egypt. Even darkness which may be felt. Wow, let's look at that. Let's look at a couple. Okay, stretch out your hand. Darkness that can be felt, so thick you can feel it. That explains it a little better. Covered with a darkness. Egypt will be covered with a darkness so thick you can feel it, right? palpable darkness. That means extreme, right? Wow, that means no light thick enough to touch. All right, so this is a plague. All right, so let's take a look at this. Here's what happened last night, or this morning. Let's call it this morning, 12, just after midnight last night. This morning, breaking, mysterious explosion. Listen to the verbiage. Listen to the language. Explosion, and this is his words, but they're using these same words in the news. Mainstream. Explosion, power outage, NYC, mysterious. Let's see what the actual news actually says, but he's going to break it down. Something happened last night, an explosion at a power plant, a substation, I believe, in New York. The power went out. And they're kind of wary, yeah, it was only for 2 seconds and the lights flickered. Well, guess what? It's more serious than that, right? And the fact that it's more serious than that, and they're waving it off as though nothing happened, what does that mean? See, things have meaning, and you got to be able to have spiritual discernment to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So let's watch this.
What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here.
And this is Cinema Shogun here, 11 hours ago. What time is it? Yep, that's just about when it happened. So he was right on it. Okay, let's dig into it.
It's one of those late night videos, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're one of my late nighters, let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, I have some breaking news for you all. There was just an explosion in New York City that caused a temporary power outage, and reportedly, people are stuck on the subway.
Stuck on the subway. That's not something small. Even if it was for 15 minutes. Okay? So to minimize, right, the importance of what's going on, you're missing the whole point. And I'll show.
And people are trapped in elevators.
Trapped in elevators is serious. They had to get the fire department, right, to come out and get people out of they had to conscript. Get down here right now. So I'm curious to see whether the angry prepper, who is he's a firefighter, if you will, or paramedic, whatever they have on them, paramedic something. If you watch the angry prepper, which I sometimes do, he look like an Ephraimite, but he claims to be a Negro. But I'm waiting to see what he has to say on it, or if he actually went in and did some hands-on. He hasn't put out a video yet, and I'm curious because he would at least give, a little heads up. I'm about to make a video. He hasn't done it yet. He might still be working, right? So I'm curious to see what he's going to say. But anyway, that's serious business to get somebody out of an elevator that stopped because the power went out. Okay?
And now there are videos surfacing of what appears to be smoke billowing out of a power plant in Brooklyn, New York. I want to go ahead and dive into this article.
Now wait. You can't just wait. In today's world, like this morning, you can't wave off an explosion that causes a power. Well, it was only 20 minutes. See, that's a stupid dumbass that said, oh, it didn't mean it. The lights just flickered. No, stupid. They had to conscript, right? And it's the fire department's job to do that, but a nigga don't want to, I got to go get somebody. What, it was just 15 minutes. No, this is serious. Okay, so is this an attack? Did somebody, here's the logic. Did somebody launch an attack on a substation and was almost successful, but not completely, and it knocked out the power for a couple of minutes, which was restored. But the point is, there's an explosion. You can't just wave that off, right? And then for this not to be all over the news, right? That means they don't want it all over the news, okay? Which would go to something nefarious. They don't want to be seen as weak. Somebody might have went in there, a T word, T error, a tiara, right? Went in there and did, a sleeper cell or whatever. And did what they have been doing. This isn't new. They've been attacking substations for a minute. Okay? This one's in New York City. Okay? What happens in New York City when the lights go off? Okay? Is this not the most... Now, if they did this themselves, we'll just cause a little explosion and we'll make the lights flicker and we'll scare everybody. What is that? That's a different animal right there, all in the same vein. This whole week has been dedicated to what? Revelation of the method, predictive programming, okay? This devil's tongue falling on. Okay, so are they showing you what is to come? Because what happened? Explosion, attack, lights go out, all right? This happened. Are they, is this the revelation of the method? All right, I'm going to let him talk a little more, and I'm going to show you what happens when the lights go out in New York City.
That provides us with a little bit more information. Black smoke is seen coming from a Con Ed plant in Brooklyn as power outages were seen across the city. This happened after midnight on Friday, and footage captured shows plumes of smoke spreading from the facility. The New York Fire Department was quickly on the scene, and there is currently an investigation into the matter. Commuters have been stuck on the subway for over 20 minutes while others are trapped on elevators. Con Edison has said it is currently investigating the issue, and there is very little information about the issue out there at this moment.
Shouldn't we know by now what the hell happened? Shouldn't there be a story or a cover story or anything? Should be out there, right? Are they trying not to scare the people? Or are they trying to... What are they doing right now? All right, you got to keep your eyes on this one, because this is saying something.
Residents across New York City, though, complained about the brief power cut, with most left confused about the power outage. Multiple people claimed to hear an explosion from the power plant, while others felt a rumble throughout their apartments. The fire department responded to multiple reports of power outages and people stuck in elevators.
Let's examine this. Breaking news. New York City is plunged into a sudden... Look at the words. Is plunged into a sudden... What? Darkness? Look at how this is worded. Who even uses sentence structure like this? Is plunged into a sudden darkness as mass power outage rocks the Big Apple. Sudden darkness. Okay? These words were specifically chosen and placed like this because you don't understand that a spell, right, is being cast on you. Right? And the only way for that spell not to take effect is for you to see through it and know what it is and call it out for what it is. All right? Smoke billows out of Con Edison plant after, there's that word. They don't have explosion. Why are they? Okay, so this word, right, says that they're trying to scare you, right? If you don't want to scare people, you don't use this word, okay? Now, when you're dealing with crises, okay, This crisis could be, it was an attack from a crown wearer, a tiara, right? Tiara. It was a tiara attack, okay? And what does this devil do with something that if he had nothing to do with it and they almost pulled off an attack, what is the devil going to do with it? Well, he tells you what he's going to do with it. He says, never let a good crisis go to waste. So he's going to, what? Scare people. Explosion. But he ain't going to say what it really was. He can control the narrative, and that's what this is, clearly. But we have darkness. We got explosion. The power plants. Okay? New York City. What happens in New York City when the power goes out? Well, here's your answer. Hip hop is born, right? Hip hop was born out of a power outage. Let's see. New York. New York City Blackout. 1976, right? 77? Here's how hip hop got started. Okay? Let's see. Let's look at this one. What it was like when the city lost power in 77. Okay? A look back, major blackout hits New York City, July 13th, 1977. What happened as a result of that? Well, the robbing and the looting started immediately, right? These wolves. And where did they go? Where the turntables and the stereos, the mixers, and that's how hip hop got started. Look into it. Street justice, the Bronx. What happens when the lights go out in New York? All right. Let's look at this. Looks grimy. This looks grimy enough.
Bingo. Oh, the lights go.
The lights start going out. The street lights.
What's all that? He was there. This is how hip hop got started. Okay? In that blackout. Oh, hip hop started in 72. Okay, nigga. Learn something.
One at a time, like in a
Who?
row.
That's Cass. Is that Grandmaster Cass? Who's that? Go back to the beginning of hip hop. You're going to hear the name Grandmaster Cass.
The lights start going out. The street lights along the street start going out. One at a time, like in a row. Poof, poof, poof.
We just looked at each other. Wow, did we do this? I mean, because we were jacked up to a street lamp, you know what I mean?
I was home.
They were still in power. Is what he just said.
Yeah, watching television. Bingo. Oh, the lights go off. Television goes off. I go up to the roof. Look out. Darkness.
Look out. What word did he use? Here's what's coming.
Darkness.
Darkness.
I'm
Darkness.
12 years old. I'm watching Bewitch on television. And the lights go out. I thought it was just us.
Chris.
Because that's a common occurrence. I looked outside and everything was black.
On the night of the blackout, my friend Cheech was visiting, Cheech from Cheech and Chong, you know, and I got a call. Well, the lights went out. I said, come on, let's go up to the Bronx. Okay. I'm covering the story.
Oh, I was in the middle of a blowjob with a client at Caesar's Retreat, and all the power went out.
It was July 13th, 1977. New York was at the beginning of what would become a brutal 10-day heat wave where temperatures were daily over 100.
Con Ed says the blackout was triggered when severe...
Con Ed. Huh. Hold on now. Taking it way back here. And this is the first time I'm ever seeing this video, so I know nothing about it. I do know about how hip-hop got started, though, through the blackout. And who made this? I just clicked on it because I saw a Negro. Okay. Anyway.
A brutal 10-day heat wave where temperatures were daily over 100.
Con Ed says the blackout was triggered when severe lightning knocked out transmission lines that connected Indian Point, the state's main power grid, to the city. With those lines down and with demand for power unusually high because of a heat wave, other generating plants, unable to handle the load, began cutting themselves off. It took only minutes before it was all over. New York had been disconnected from the nation's electric system.
The first reality check was a bodega right across the street from where we were playing. The gate went down. Shoo! 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 All pandemonium broke. And people just started screaming blackout. And then you heard like bottles breaking and people just running. And we were like stuck out there with all this equipment.
So for those 10 minutes or whatever, couple of minutes, last night, what the hell you think was going on? Okay. What were the wolves? The wolves are like, oh, putting on ski masks and shit. All right. I think this went on for days, but see, this is very interesting. What's going to happen in New York when they turn them lights off?
To be out there in the blackout, you were prime. You know what I mean? You were prime for the picking.
Everybody was like, hit the stores. And it was like, hit the stores. And everybody just started running all at once.
Instantly. So again, last night when the fucking lights went out, if it was for 10 minutes or if it was for 20, okay, this dude just said instantly they started running. All right? Premeditated. And there it is, real time. Black Friday, nigga.
Now, some started running towards us. Me and Wiz, we had other ideas, okay? We pull out the guns. We like, no, run that way, okay? Don't run this way, run that way. Wiz stayed with the equipment, and I proceeded around the corner because there was an electronics store, the sound room, and they had DJ equipment in there. And this is
how was hip hop started? With a blackout. Niggas will make Kool-Aid. Give a nigga lemon, you make Kool-Aid.
First time admitting this, telling this story, but yes, I did sneak in there, help crash the gate down, and crawl in and pull out a Clubman 2 mixer. But like I said, couldn't just say I'm gonna be a DJ. You needed equipment. And that's all I really, wanted. I wasn't trying to loot, everything I could find.
Before that blackout, we had literally just maybe 4 or 5 legitimate DJ crews. The very next day, it sprung this whole revolution of DJs. That was a huge spark and a huge contribution to the hip-hop culture.
The rest of the city had other things on their mind. Supermarkets, department stores, banks, check cashing places, jewelry stores, everything.
What's gonna happen? This was in 77. How many years ago was that? Shit. Damn near 50. It's almost 50 years ago. How much more today?
Morale in the police department was very low because there had been layoffs and pay freezes. So when they
defund the police, where are we going?
got the call to start showing up for work the night of the blackout, a lot of them were not inclined to do so.
So the police didn't go out to do their job. They said, fuck that.
Now guys are starting to come in. We're all in uniform. We're all sitting around. And the door flies open. And this guy comes in. What the F is going on? They're walking away with my store. The CO hears this and he comes out. And he says, who are you? He says, I'm the commanding officer. You're the commanding officer? Well, command something. He says, they're walking away with Broadway. So we take streets to get up to Broadway. There was thousands of people in the street. Carrying chairs, carrying refrigerators, carrying TVs. How are we going to arrest all these people? You know? So I says, let's get the cars over here. Take what we can take, and the rest of it, the hell with it. We're putting 2 and 3 guys in the back seat.
Niggers, Jakes, Puerto Ricans.
We're putting televisions in the trunks. We're putting televisions in the back seat on their laps. Sometimes we're putting 2 guys in the trunk, closing the trunk, and transporting him to the precinct. Guys were making arrests left and right, and there were shots being fired. We were firing back. Wherever we would see a flash, boom.
We heard shots fired and missiles and all sorts of shit in that movie. Leave the World Behind. When that shit jumped off, that's what you heard. You heard this.
We opened up in that direction. We were saying, we need more ammo. And the words were no longer out of my mouth. And here comes emergency service. They start throwing us boxes of ammo, hundreds of rounds, and we're loading up. And the exchange of gunfire continued.
I remember getting on top of a bus. I started yelling to the crowd. I said, the world is watching, and cool down. Everybody's got to go home. The lights will be on soon. Everything's going to be okay. I never figured that even as hard on its luck as New York was, that the veneer of civilization was that thin, that people who were marginal people, or even in their regular lives law-abiding people, suddenly became this crowd of anarchists in it for themselves.
Hey, the world is a tinderbox. Back then, it might have been a little bad in New York or whatever, but the 70s, shit. I was there, and there wasn't nothing wrong with the 70s. It was plenteous for everybody. Okay? Now, whole different story. You can only imagine what's gonna jump off. I can't fathom it.
With Jekyll and Hyde personality came out, and people that you would never expect, the housewives, some of them. I mean, not all by any means the minorities either.
I'm bugging out because church-going, upstanding citizens, the ones you know are teachers and doctors and in the community, they are now reduced to looters, thieves, and rioters. I was shocked.
All hell broke loose, every man for himself.
I was afraid. I was frightened at the sound of glass breaking.
I was frightened. I'm going to end this. Go back and watch this. This is good. New York Blackout of 77 Constantine 10 years ago. Very informative from our point of view. All right? Now let's go back here. Let's go to 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. Right? The spirit of pride. They can be scared out there. And I will destroy the counsel thereof. They shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Santeria and Baharia, whatever they call that shit, right? Let's read 2. Isaiah 19 and 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. Well, that was in a microcosm. That was going on in New York. Do I have to show you them shooting at each other? The police shooting against the citizens, that's the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Some of them, I mean, not all by any means the minorities either.
I'm bugging out because church-going, upstanding citizens, the ones you know are teachers and doctors and
Making arrests left and right, and there were shots being fired. We were firing back. You know, wherever we would see a flash, boom, we open up in that direction. We were saying, we need more ammo. And the war.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. They shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. What the hell do you think is going to go on when those lights go out for 3 fucking days? Just 3. Not 2 weeks. Not 2 months. Okay? Immediately. Okay? Let's get that again. Let's get that part so that you understand. Where was it? He said immediately, listen to this. Understand this. Okay? The moment the lights went out. I don't know if I got that. Let me see. Get it all the way back.
High because of a heat wave. Other generating plants, unable to handle the load, began cutting themselves off. It took only minutes before it was all over. New York had been disconnected from the nation's electric system.
The first reality check was a bodega right across the street from where we were playing. The gate went down. Shoo! 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 All pandemonium broke. And people just started screaming blackout. And then you heard like bottles breaking and people just running. And we were like stuck out there with all this equipment.
This is instantly. The moment, they said the moment the lights went down, and they weren't automatic gates. Niggas were like, oh shit. Shut the motherfucking storm drain.
And to be out there in the blackout, you were prime. You know what I mean? You were prime for the picking.
everybody was like, hit the stores. And it was like, hit the stores. And everybody just started running all at once.
So again, last night, let's see, and we're done. That's all I got. Blackout, NYC. 12, 15, 23. See what comes up. 6 hours, 8 hours, 54 minutes. Oh, that's the weather. NYC hit with power outage after smoke seen rising from substation. Are they going to tell us what it is? 4 years ago, 3 hours, leaves people stranded in elevators. This happened today. Okay, now quickly, good thing I left this here. We've been talking about this all week. What happened? Oh, it was a blackout. It was an explosion. There was what? Shutdown. That was an attack. There was an attack on the substation and the lights went out. Revelation of the method is an occult ritual. Used casually, the implication is always the same. I'm going to jump down here. They will broadcast their intentions in advance. So how would that pertain to this situation? Well, there's a blackout coming. Somebody's going to attack a substation. The lights are going to go off, and you're going to be in darkness for days. They will broadcast their intentions in advance. Why was this just a little tiny blip on the radar screen? This is called revelation of the method, right? This occult ritual. Some people call it predictive programming. We should probably get that too. Let's see. Let's get that real quick. Predictive. I don't want to leave that. I like that. Let's get it from here. Predictive programming. Good enough. Predictive programming is a long-running conspiracy that claims, long-running conspiracy theory that claims powerful Hollywood elites are using media to program the populace. The idea is that at the behest of the Illuminati or some such, Hollywood makes films like Civil War, woo, look at that, it ain't even came out yet, to normalize the idea of conflict between the states. Civil War, this is one day, this came out one day ago. This is at the top of the search. This came out one day ago. What are they doing? What is even this paragraph? This paragraph is to pigeonhole what? Conspiracy theorists. They put this there a day ago. How is this? The trailer came out yesterday, right? Or 2 days ago. But this is at the top of the search list? Look at this. Predictive programming. This Obama Netflix movie. Civil War. Say, look at this. I didn't type in Civil War. I typed in predictive programming, and I just want a definition. Okay. See, predictive programming is a recurring element across many conspiracies. See what they're doing? Because we're on to them. They're changing the narrative, and they're going to make this a crime. Conspiracy theory. They're demonizing the shit out of it. Is the practice of government and other higher authorities that use feature films and books to increase public awareness. Okay? Public awareness of what? What they intend to do. What do they intend to do? Shut the... somebody's going to do an attack, right, on a substation. What do we see? It was an attack on a substation, and the power went out, and the lights went out. It was dark, right? That's what happened. So while all of this is coming out, you got Leave the World Behind, you got Civil War that ain't even came out yet, and then this happens in the morning, and nobody really knows about it, right? Con Edison substation, this is the word I was looking for right here. Substation explosion temporarily disrupts power in NYC 6 hours ago. Substation attacks in the U.S. on the rise. This been going on. They've been attacking. 9 months. Why the U.S. power grid is under attack 9 months ago. What really happened with the substation attack in North Carolina. So here we are. What the hell do you think is about to happen? They've been attacking the power grid. And last night they attacked the power grid in New York City and shut down the lights. And people are waving it off like it ain't nothing. All right? Anyway, so we're going to end it. And of all things, let's get that on the way out here. All right? So I just thought I'd dig into that a little bit. This is just more of the same, okay? It's too well controlled. They ain't said what it is. They haven't come. Maybe today they'll come out with their narrative or their story. 1 Peter 4. This is one of the 3 precepts that I know, but it's a good one. 1 Peter 4:7, but the end of all things is at hand. Right? Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. You better be watching. Okay? When the lights go out, do what? Get the fuck out of the city. It's not just stealing going on. Murders, rapes, and all manner of crimes and wickedness. All right? So with that, we hope that the elect will edify you, brothers and few sisters, with that shalom.